Yo, se enciende la luz, es hora de pasarla chido. Estos psycho en el micro, sean todos bienvenidos. De grandes a chicos, aquí tienen su lugar. Aquí a la entrevista, representar el Paso. Esta es mi ciudad, parece una locura. Estamos sin censura.
Vamos aprendiendo, Alex.
Yeah. Yo, le raza, welcome back to another episode of Psycho Uncensored. I want to, as always, start off by thanking my official sponsor, Rio Seco Ag and Supply. Y nos fueron bien con los shoutouts last week. So I want to start off también diciendo unos shoutouts. So, para comenzar, I want to say I have a very happy birthday to my nephew that I love a lot. Lo quiero un chingo al cabrón.
Right on.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
¿Cómo se llama este cabrón?
Ethan.
Oh, Ethan. Happy birthday, Ethan. Chingado, lo quiero un chingo, pero no.
No me acuerdo de su nombre.
Casi no lo veo. Ahí tengo como 3 regalos de que ya van como 2 años que no lo veo.
Puro amor, es puro amor.
Yeah. También shout out to Los Centauros, Chapter Socorro. They're having a run.
Right on.
October 13th. Follow them on social media so you can get more information, or follow the El Paso Motorcycle Coalition page. It's updated with all the information. También shout out to Shori Almanzar with the Socorro Independent Riders. They have their run Saturday, October 12th.
Right on.
They were here last week. A toda madre estaba el show. A lot of good information. So if you haven't watched the video, vayan a verlo y make sure and subscribe, like, share, todo ese pedo.
Like and share.
todo ese pedo. También Forbidden Acres Haunted House. It's already open. It's going. I think they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it is the best haunted house in El Paso. So go check them out. Y un shout out también para Solano Grip. He's a local artist. Le quedé poco mal al vato porque íbamos a grabar un video aquí en studio, pero es que no tengo tiempo. You know, we're trucking. ¿Qué tan chistoso, güey? What's so funny, fucker?
Me equivoqué, güey. Era triste, iba a ser lo triste, güey.
A ver, lo triste, pues. But anyways, shout out to Solano Grip. If you go follow him on social media, I'll leave his link aquí abajo y todo para que vayan y lo sigan. Go listen to his music. He's got a lot of new stuff coming up. So that's it. Let's get the show started. Queremos darle la bienvenida aquí a Joey de la familia 28.
Thank you. Right on. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Right on.
And who do I have here to my left?
My name is Jennifer Talamantes Guerra, and I am from Fighting to Save Lives in the 915.
Oh.
Nice.
Sweet.
What are we going to talk about today, Joey? Tell us.
Well, what we're bringing up here, first of all, muchas gracias a ustedes for everything that you guys are having here for us.
No, thank you for being here.
Y para toda la gente que nos ha ayudado con esto, you know what I'm saying? It's really been a big blessing, man. Everybody, you know, near and far, you know. I mean, this has been something that's going to take off really well. Ojalá Dios quiera, ¿verdad? But this is going to be our first annual bike run. And this is for Fighting to Save Lives in the 915. Okay, and this is a fentanyl run. You know,
fentanyl.
It's a fentanyl run. And it's been a silent killer here, you know, in El Paso. And unfortunately, it took our son as well, you know, 4 months ago. And since then, we've been to already 2 other funerals of 2 other very close friends of mine.
Since 4 months ago?
Yeah, since then, you know, that have passed away, and all under the age of 35. You know, but it doesn't discriminate with any age. I mean, it's taking children, right, Jenny? Children, people up to 56 years old. It doesn't matter. You know, it just...
It doesn't discriminate with age. It doesn't discriminate with socioeconomic status. It doesn't discriminate. You can be rich, poor.
Yeah.
You can be from the hood, or you can be from...
High class.
Right.
Ironically, going to the DA museum, when I first went, you would see predominantly white kids up there.
Wow. Now, you guys, for those of those in the audience that don't know what fentanyl is and what it's doing, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, fentanyl is an opioid that is 50 times stronger than heroin. Fentanyl is the primary use for fentanyl is in the medical field. Anybody who is suffering from pain, going into surgery, cancer patients, that's what fentanyl is originally was made for. But keep in mind, when somebody is using fentanyl in a medical facility, it is monitored by a doctor, and it is in quality. It has quality control.
Right.
Illicit fentanyl is it's not clean. It is not monitored by a doctor. It only takes 2 milligrams, which is a lethal dose for an average person. However, depending on your body weight and your tolerance level, it doesn't take 2 milligrams. With my son, Jacob, he was 25 years old. He's forever 25. He had 0.0009, which wasn't even close to the legal dose of fentanyl. If somebody would have called 911 or if they would have administered Narcan, he would still be here today.
Y es lo que dicen, ¿verdad? Like even when cops come across it, like even touching it.
You can't touch it, brother.
Even touching
you
it
can't
can
touch it, man.
cause...
It comes to it goes to your skin.
And do we know
everything.
how it's getting here and why it's so easy to get a hold of? Like, why is it being passed or administered or whatever is happening out there? Why is it's so easy to get a hold of it?
It started off in China, and the Chinese.
China.
Yeah.
Fucking China.
Ya estuvo, no.
As they said, made in China.
Started off in China. It's also being manufactured in India. And then, our cartels got involved because they're dealing with money here. One big thing that I do want to say is that what they're trying to put out there is that fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction.
It is.
Creo que ya está bien castigado. Like it's even worse than heroin.
Most
it is.
definitely. Most
And
definitely.
see, that heroin used to be the biggest thing before, and but now heroin is becoming very scarce in El Paso, and you can get a hold of heroin.
So, a ver, dime, are they smoking it? Are they injecting
They
it? Or?
smoke it. You
Everything.
smoke this, yeah.
So,
and
like-
you can
like
inject it as
freebasing.
well. Right. They put in a full paper.
You can smoke it. You can. It's in cocaine. It is in meth.
Wow.
It is in prescription medication. It is in Adderall, what is used to give to children for ADHD.
Yeah.
That's a big problem in the colleges right now, is that a lot of college kids are passing away from fentanyl overdoses because during the time of exams, they're looking for Adderall at the library. My daughter, who's a nurse, she even said, because I was studying and somebody says, hey, do you have Adderall? And the DEA says that 7 out of 10 pills are laced with fentanyl. Last year it was 6 out of 10. Now it's moved up to 7 out of 10.
But that's from the pharmaceuticals that they're putting that in there.
Not the pharmaceutical, that's the pills
That
that are
illegal.
Yeah,
like
it's
in the
illegal.
black market.
The
They're
black market.
Wow.
It's a black
And so
market.
they're lacing them with fentanyl.
So any type of pill, because there is pill presses that you can buy out there on social media, on Amazon.
Yeah.
But you can pill press anything from an ibuprofen to Midol to whatever you want.
So you don't even know what you're taking when
Y cómo se miran esas, like, I was telling Joy right now that, I mean, we all had our, rough life at the beginning, pero, I mean, I dealt with weed and that white powder.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we don't know really as a parent, like, what to look for, like, cómo se miran esas pastillas.
And it's a small little pill, and they'll come orange or red in color.
Okay.
And blue, también blue. Don't mistake a little blue
The
pill
little blue
for
pill.
a Viagra pill, right? Yes, tú.
Actually,
Ahí quedas redondito.
it looks just the same. Like, for example, Xanax. It's going to look identical
like
to a
like
Xanax
tiny
pill.
little pill.
If it's an ibuprofen, it's going to look the same as an ibuprofen pill. It's not. You can't tell the difference.
No.
That's one of the things that the DEA their thing is one pill can kill, because they put out there when they do their presentations in the schools. They put a regular ibuprofen or Xanax or even a hydrocodone, and they put a laced one, and you really can't tell the difference. But one pill, one shot, one snort, anything that you
it can be
ingest.
taken in those different ways.
any of those forms.
You
Wow.
cannot smell it. You cannot taste it. You cannot see it. It's in there.
And so it's very common mostly, I guess I want to say the younger generation, but like you said, anybody can.
No, yeah.
You know,
Anybody.
Yeah.
because you were just showing me on is it your page that you're running?
My Facebook page.
People were putting pictures, with their memory of their loved ones,
Right.
and how many have passed. But you were showing me a statistic, and what was that statistic that we were reading?
We're having 500 lives taken daily by fentanyl across our country.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like
And people-
close to like COVID.
Yeah.
Other
That's
parents-
Yeah, it's
that's a
crazy.
crazy statistic.
They're putting out there that whenever you're watching either a college game or an NFL game, that stadium, that's how many people are dying of fentanyl.
Wow, no, that's so. This run.
Pues si
is
son de
to-
los Cowboys, no le
Yeah.
hacen.
Yeah, right. Hey, aliviánate, brother.
Ya se acabó el show.
Put us cowboy baby.
No,
That stadium
and it had to come from a 49ers fan. Okay, so a lo que íbamos, ya me decía.
Hey, no, and I'm sorry, no disrespect ni nada.
no, no, brother,
I'm
it's
just
all
trying to
good.
put a little.
It's all
You know?
good, my brother.
So tell me, how is it that you got involved in this? Both of you, like, give us a little bit of backstory.
Okay, I got involved. I'll go first, Joey. I got involved because my son had passed away April 24th of 2020. That was when COVID first hit, that we were all isolated. Granted, here in El Paso, the good thing about El Paso is that we are the city in Texas that has the least amount of deaths. Every
By
other place
fentanyl?
by
Right.
fentanyl. Every
And even though
other,
it's brought through here, most
yeah,
of
even
it,
though
you
it's
know.
brought through here, you would think that we would have a high rate.
Fronteras.
Yeah.
But the problems are in Dallas, where my son passed away. My son was living in Dallas. And he was, I'll tell you a little bit about my son first.
Yes.
My son was Jacob Talamantes, and he is forever 25. He was a business owner. He had a flooring company in Wiley, Texas. He graduated here from Eastwood High School in 2013, moved over there with his high school sweetheart. They had 2 kids. And my son started smoking weed when he was in the 8th grade. However, and like you all were saying, it's like, yeah, we've all, done our things when we were younger.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all smoked weed. We all did this. We all did whatever. But in today's world, you can't do that anymore because it's going to either be you live or die. That's to where it came down.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't even know what they
You're
put
playing
on-
Russian roulette, brother, every
Oh,
time,
yeah.
you know.
And so is that what happened? That
So that's what happened with my son. So when I first found out about him passing, I did not know what fentanyl was. And I remember my ex-husband, the detective, had said, oh, it's fentanyl. Because I guess when they found him, his fingertips were blue, his nose and his lips were blue. And my sister, I remember when he had just passed, my sister called me and she goes, I didn't know Jake was doing heroin. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Because I
Yeah.
knew nothing about, and I'm a high school counselor. You would think that I would know about fentanyl, but in the high school we deal with weed, we deal with
Yeah.
we don't deal with this stuff. So I remember my ex-husband telling the detective, my son was super smart in school. He loved, science. He wouldn't take anything that would kill him. But the thing is with fentanyl, as we started learning about fentanyl, we're all like, this was the crisis that Dallas and Houston and Austin were facing in 2020 when so many kids were being isolated. They
Just
were
at
getting on
home.
Yeah.
Snapchat. They were getting on Snapchat on the dark web, and they were ordering like Xanax pills and something for anxiety
Right.
and depression. And it was being delivered right to their doorstep. So by the time it was dinner time, parents would go call their kids down, and they would be gone.
wow, it takes them that fast.
It takes them super fast.
So with your son, I'm assuming that the weed that he got was laced with it and he didn't even know?
He was taking Percocets during the time that all this was happening because attached to substance abuse and even drinking, there's mental health attached to. That's the foundation of
Yeah.
everything we do.
Okay.
And as I'm learning, I'm still learning. I learn every day. Sometimes, like when addiction is not, if you don't fix it or you don't get the treatment, we change that addiction into something else. And as a matter of fact, I was just having this conversation yesterday with my mom. My sister was addicted to meth in California. And there is a genetics factor to all this. And she never got the treatment that she should have gotten. So now she doesn't do meth anymore, but she's a workaholic that is literally killing her. I mean, she has 2 jobs nonstop. I mean, she lives for her job, but it's because that's how addiction works, is that if you don't get the treatment, my husband, another one, you know,
you form another
This
addiction.
is why he's not
Yes.
here, because he's working, because you just transfer the addiction into something else. It can even be exercise.
Yes,
It can even be
absolutely.
something.
Cleaning. Shout out, Linda.
Actually, that comes,
Le digo que está enferma.
Yeah, actually,
porque
gaming
nomás
is an
está-
addiction.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That comes from
That's
from
like an OCD though, but like an
or
Yeah.
it can come from a generational trauma. But
Yes.
that's mental health.
Yes.
But like the bottom line to all this is mental health, is that people are looking for this. Like the kids who were passing away, like, I mean, on a daily basis during
So
COVID.
they were looking for
hydrocodone.
yes, so something like a
Percocet.
fix to cure whatever their like anxiety, pain, and when I say pain, it's masking an emotional pain, right? And whatever they were taking was laced with that. Now, when you say that, are people doing it on purpose to kill people, or because hey, it's gonna make you feel a little bit better?
Well-
You know, this is like the best. Anxiety pill out there. Is that how they're presenting it?
The way how fentanyl is, and I always, when I do my presentations, I use a cookie recipe effect. When you're doing chocolate chip cookies, you throw in all the chocolate chips. Fentanyl, they throw all the chocolate chips. Remember, it only takes 2 milligrams, maybe even less, again, depending on your body type. But if I make all these cookies and I just throw fentanyl in there, not all of us are going to die. I can give you a cookie, everybody a cookie in this room, but somebody who has the lethal dose is going to pass. Because that's what a lot of kids say.
Wow.
A lot of kids, I've heard this. Well, my drug dealer won't do that. My plug isn't gonna kill me because I buy a lot of shit from him. I can cut here. Right?
It's uncensored.
So they say, I buy, he's my plug and I trust him. But the thing is, and I even tell my plugs this. If you're not growing that shit in your backyard and you're not packing it and rolling it or doing whatever you're doing to distribute it, somebody dies on your time,
Yeah.
you're going to do the time.
You're going to
Yes,
do the time.
exactly.
Right?
So even the plugs don't even know what they're really selling out there.
No.
They're just doing it for the money. And we were talking about
Right,
earlier,
right.
people do it quick money, and
Yeah.
that's all they care about. And they don't even know when or who that's going to happen
When
to.
the trigger's going to be pulled,
And
right?
Yeah.
I have a 16-year-old daughter, and as a matter of fact, we were having this conversation the other day too. She goes, "Mom, I want to experiment." She goes, because I have a lot of stuff on my plate. She's an early college student. She has a lot of stress. She goes, "I'm very stressed," and she goes, "And I can't." And she was really upset. She goes, "I can't experiment because of what has happened to my brother."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I go, "Okay, if you want to experiment, next week we'll go to New Mexico. I'll buy you a blunt," because she doesn't even know what a blunt is. But she goes, "I want a blunt." I'm all like,
Right.
"Okay, I'll buy you a blunt. I'll go in the store and I'll get it myself. You come outside and you smoke it here. And if you feel that this is going to relax you, then okay." Another thing is, a lot of kids working in high school, a lot of kids are looking for the Xanax, the bars.
Right.
And I tell a lot of parents, if your kids are buying these bars off the street from strangers, instead, why don't you take them to the doctor and have the doctor prescribe you Xanax for anxiety, depression, whatever it is, as opposed to them buying it from the street.
But you know why they do that? Because Xanax, because it is a controlled substance,
Right.
it's only a temporary drug. So when they give it to you, they only give it to you for a certain amount of time, and then they wean you off of it.
Yeah.
And truth be told, Xanax is very addictive, very addictive. And so it's hard to wean them off of it. And then now we've got people who are addicted, are going over the border. It's so easy to go
And that's
and grab it
exactly
over there.
what causes this.
Yes.
That's what causes. That's how the cycle works.
Exactly. And so now they're addicted to this. Now they need more. So now they're going to plugs and saying, "Hey, I need my quick fix because I need to make myself feel better." They're not thinking, "Oh, I'm doing a drug, an illegal drug." They're just thinking, "I need to feel better."
Right.
And so in turn like this. So Joey, you lost your stepson.
Yeah.
Tell us about his story. What was his name?
Roman James Vasquez. He passed away at the age of 32, mijo, and
Very young.
Yeah, and I mean, I've known little Romans for many, many, many years, and Yeah, we've suffered a little bit with him, with his addiction and stuff. My wife and I, and we know we've tried everything, and I've grown up in the barrio, and I've grown up with family, that have been heroin addicts and this and that, and I understood the addiction of it. But you know what? You really wouldn't hear of too many people dying, or overdosing with that stuff,
Exactly.
I mean, you could be a heroin addict for 15, 20 years y tú andas ahí avientando patadas,
Sí.
But man, this fentanyl stuff, it's off the wall, man.
Yeah.
It's off the wall, and it's so much cheaper, to purchase and stuff out there. I believe it's like what, $5 a pill or something like that right now.
$10 a pill.
$10, yeah, $10. So, I mean,
Oh my God, that's crazy.
un tirón de la heroin is $20, at least 15. You know what I'm saying? Buying a balloon out there and stuff, But I mean, I've seen all this and I've lived through it. I've just never. My wife was so inexperienced with anything that was going on with little Roman as well. And I would coach her into it, but you know what? Her and her ex-husband, they did a lot for that. They brought him, they took him to a bunch of rehabs, and we've done everything. We've tried everything for him. You know what I'm saying? El huerquillo ahí vivía con nosotros. He would stay with us a lot, and I would see him, and man, I would do him sometimes. Lo guachaba el huerco, and I would be like, "Ay, canijos, brother, is he alive?"
Yeah.
And
So what are some signs? By los parents, like what do we watch for?
Brother, you can immediately sleeping. Oh my gosh, man! If they're sleeping, and they're sleeping forever, and y no se levantan o no se duermen, they have
It's a silent killer.
It sure is.
They're not going to go into convulsion or anything.
Yeah.
They're just gonna.
Yeah, because
go to sleep.
it's actually
A sedative.
it's a sedative, exactly.
Right now, Jenny has passed me this here, and it's called an opioid overdose. The signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose that include the first symptoms, of course, is unresponsive or unconscious. When they become unresponsive or unconscious, and also the pinpoint pupils. Cuando guachas a tu huerquito, ay, caños, you got little pinpoint pupils and stuff like that. Also, snoring or gargling. Gurgling sounds from your mouth when they're asleep. It's sometimes, si anda en pedo uno, pues it happens, pues a todos.
You confuse that probably with snoring, right?
Well, you got to indicate whether he was drinking or not.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, that'll be a determining factor to that,
Okay.
But then the blue lips or fingertip, because what happens with fentanyl, it slows down your breathing capability.
Yes.
It shuts down your breathing capability.
Yes, so it creates cyanosis.
and before you know it, there's no more oxygen to your brain. So you pass away. You pass away from that. Jenny broke off, but what I was telling you about. Okay, so then of course, like I was explaining to you guys about the shallow and slower stopping or stop breathing. That's a big indication. I mean, the purple lips and the blue lips, I'm sorry, and the blue fingernails are a big indication of them going through an overdose. Now, also on our run, I want to just indicate this. I want to shout this out. On our run, we are having Narcan. We're giving away Narcan as a gift from us,
¿Qué viene siendo eso? Is it
Narcan,
like
brother. It's el shot, and it goes through the nostril, brother.
Yeah,
it's shot up through the nostril.
It reverses any effects of.
No es
Right.
No, es como
Not only
Pulp
that, but
Fiction.
any drug that they do.
Es como Pulp
It'll
Fiction.
reverse.
que-
Yes,
No, that's a EpiPen, like an EpiPen.
But it's kind of the same.
Yeah, the
idea of
exactly.
what it does. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So any kind, like if you have like a morphine trip,
Right.
you do the Narcan and you reverse it back. So
It actually blocks the opioid.
Oh,
It blocks your opioid, and it stops the process of it giving you an overdose. So, but it's very time limited. It's very time limited, and when it's administered, you only have like 15, 30 minutes, brother, and you got to move fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can administer as many as you want.
Yes, because depending how much fentanyl they're taking, you might need more than one. And keep in mind, sometimes depending on how many milligrams they've ingested, sometimes Narcan won't even work.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, it's a
And
lethal
it
dose
depends also on the stage that they're in.
that they're in.
Uh-huh.
And are there now? I know that there's some stores out there they sell test packets. I don't know if you've heard of that. How
Accurate.
effective are those? Do you know?
It's kind of crazy how those work because I didn't know how they worked until they finally showed me. And they have to get the pill. Like, for example, like I said, there's different categories of how people take the fentanyl.
Yeah.
And the people who suffer from substance abuse disorder are looking for the fentanyl, and they are looking for the M30 pills. They are looking for.
So they're using it to their benefit to see if it has it.
And so
wow.
And so what they do is they'll crush the pill, and then they put some
On the strip?
on the strip, and then they put it on there. But then again, they have to put it back together, and then they take it. So
So they're like, okay, it has some. This is what I want to take. Wow. So in most cases, people do know that they're taking fentanyl and they're
My
risking
brother-in-law
it. They're
passed
taking a
away.
risk.
He passed away because he suffered from substance abuse disorder, and about a year ago, he took an M30 pill. And I've had parents go literally drop their kids off who are suffering from substance abuse and looking for fentanyl.
¿Qué viene siendo la M30? I'm sorry.
The M30 is the little blue pills that are like the like a
Xanax.
Xanax.
Like Xanax,
okay.
yeah.
They imitate a
Yeah.
Xanax, a counterfeit. It's a counterfeit Xanax pill.
Now, this run that you all are doing, and my hat's off to you because this is, like you said, Joey, the first in El Paso.
Yeah.
That now, is this the first run ever, or there's been other benefits going on for it?
There's never been a first run here in El Paso. Now, this has been nationwide. This is a nationwide run, and because of this run too as well, the city of El Paso is also lighting the Star of El Paso purple for us on that day.
Oh my God, that is
Yeah.
amazing!
Hey, just for the record, we tried lighting up purple también.
Yeah.
No sabía, Carla, la neta, que era purple.
But it's all good, Canelito. It's all good, brother.
So on that day,
Cheers, my brother.
everyone's going to be wearing purple. Is that it? Purple bandanas and stuff like that?
Purple
Okay.
is a color of fentanyl.
Okay, that's my next question. And why the butterfly?
That's just something that my son sends me butterflies and ladybugs
Oh,
all the
look at
time.
that.
So when we were creating Fighting to Save Lives, and I haven't finished my story how this came to be. When my son passed away, I was in a very dark place. And this is the other part of Fighting to Save Lives. Here in El Paso, nobody was speaking about it. Nobody, it was very, you wouldn't find anybody who meet somebody who their child passed away from a fentanyl overdose or poisoning. So I met Carlos Briano from the DEA. He's just the PR person. And he does One Pill Can Kill to all the schools. And I shared with him my story. And during that time, the DEA wanted to get involved and bring families together and to see how we can fight this epidemic that is killing a whole generation.
Yeah.
So I was invited by Ann Milgram to go speak my son's story in Washington, D.C. And like I tell you, if anybody has ever lost a loved one or a child, I mean, you're not all there mentally. It
Right.
takes a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you grieve for the rest of your life, and sometimes
Absolutely.
you don't know. You have good days and you have bad days. And during this time, it was it was over a year and a half when all this happened that I met Carlos. And we went out there, and when we went out there, I met other families that were like me, because me being a mom losing a child to fentanyl, I was like, I feel like a disabled person. Like I was different. Everybody, when we go to gatherings, oh, my son, or I would see my stepson, like, hugging his mom, and it's like, oh, damn, where's my son? My son, I'm never going to get that again. And I love my stepson to death. I don't even call him my stepson. He's my child.
Right.
But
I got a question.
What's up, my brother?
Is there like for parents? Is there some type of help that they can go and check it out, see how?
yes, that is another part that Fighting to Save Lives does. Before I had knee surgery, I was having support groups for families who had suffered a loss of a loved one from not only fentanyl, but substance abuse disorder. So those groups are going to start coming back once this run is done. Not only that, but when we first started those grief groups, I only had like maybe 3 people that would actually come out and say, my child passed away from fentanyl.
Yeah.
And now more and more, because of the stigma that we have here, now more and more parents are coming out and more parents are reaching out. So I'm hoping that these grief groups, that they help other people, other families. I was having to go to Washington, D.C., New York, Fort Worth to all these other places just to like hang out with my angel moms. And let me tell you, when you have angel parents together, it's so magical. It is
I
so
bet.
it's
Yeah.
magical. And we have, speaking of that, we have Eternal Angels from Albuquerque, who they have a demonstration of posters that they go and they present at schools. We also have Project 111 from Midland, Odessa, Michelle Watson's group. They're also coming out and they're having their demonstrations. But Joey doesn't know this yet, but like I tell him, you have to go with me to DC. You have to go with me. You have to go with me to New York. You have to go on there. I know people in Fort Worth that actually now hold fentanyl retreats for grieving families, which they go out there for 3 or 4 days and they do nothing but speak of their child in a safe place. They do grief activities. And I saw it with another person that I had gone with, that she was like in such a dark place. I look at her and I still remember how dark she was when I first met her that night. And by the end of that retreat, she was actually smiling.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
That's proof of how it helps. Now, this run that you guys are doing,
Yeah.
this money that you're going to be raising, how is this going to help this foundation that you've got going on?
one, it's going to help with awareness materials, like even those bracelets. I mean, those cost like $300 like per order. Posters, literature, not all literature because a lot is donated from other places, like from the DEA. But another thing is to fund families to go to these retreats, because a retreat that's in Fort Worth, it's $298 per person. So, and all this I like what I've done in the past that all has been me, but I want to help other families such as Joey and his wife to go and to do these retreats. I want them to go and see Roman's picture and being memorialized in Washington, D.C., and show that they're going to be supported by other families, not only just here in El Paso, but
And I
all
guess to
across.
grieve properly,
Yeah.
amongst others that have lost their child.
Right. And also, we also want to create a billboard out there, with only people with their loved ones from here, the angels from here at El Paso. We want to create a billboard here and post all their pictures up there and all the people that have lost their children that have passed away. And I mean, it's gonna be it's all like they're saying, saving lives for the 915, and these people are from the 915, and we never hear about their deaths.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't hear
before
about
this
their
show, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never. I mean, I knew fentanyl was killing, but not to this extent, and how close and how
Yeah.
many lives
Exactly.
are being taken just here in El Paso.
Right.
So I can just imagine internationally, how it's happening, and it's crazy. Those statistics of 500 per day. That is a
Yeah.
phenomenal number, and I like I said, I give you guys props for doing this, because we need to stop this. We need to put it
Yeah.
in. I mean, and it's just like the war against drugs, right?
Yeah.
Does it ever stop? No.
No,
But
no.
there is awareness that you can let the community out there know, the youngsters that are taking it,
Yeah.
maybe give it a second chance before they even try it.
Right.
Think about it again. Maybe I shouldn't because of all this. It's kind of like back in the day, and we were just talking about that, Joy.
Yeah.
Que, back in the day, pues no había de esto, y nomás
No.
se, fumaban grifa,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it was like, okay, yeah, you get stoned, whatever. But people weren't passing away from it.
Cocaine, I mean, that's
Or
all
it
there
was a
was.
face.
But I mean,
Exactly.
you heard of cocaine
Yeah.
overdoses. You know what I'm saying?
But it was
they were
far
very
and
rare.
few,
Yeah, right.
very
right.
far and few. O que, que se estaban echando, como dicen, la shiva, right?
Yeah.
And they would pass away because it was too much of it.
Right.
But,
Those are overdoses. Yeah.
yes, yeah. But these are, to me, it sounds more like accidental stuff.
It's a
Or like you
poisoning.
said,
It's a poisoning, right?
Yeah.
It's totally chinged the whole outlook to that. It's no longer an overdose. It's a poisoning.
¿Y a quién le va a tocar? Porque como estaba diciendo, if you get that cookie, ya valiste.
yeah,
See?
it's over.
And as parents, because I work with a lot of parents, their kids may start smoking the vape pens with THC, or they're doing a little bit of drugs, and a lot of parents have a misconception, because I was that parent. I was a parent that never in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever lose a child to a drug, ever. And working with kids, a lot of parents think, oh, my son or my daughter got caught with a vape pen and now I have to do these classes and whatever. And they think it's a phase. They don't fix the problem there. And that's my mistake. That's my biggest regret. Jake was doing marijuana when he was in the 8th grade. He was an athlete. He was an amazing, he loved school. That kid would get 80s and up in pre-cal without studying. And he had a good life ahead of him.
Yeah.
But because he would struggle with issues with his baby mama, he struggled with that. So he would always go out and partying with his friends. He was doing the Percocet pills. One time, my older son called me. He goes, "Mom, Jake is doing cocaine." I'm like, "What? Why are you doing this?" And he told me, "Mom, it's because the pain is too great. I miss my girls." And I would always try to motivate him and say, you're better than this. You have to lift yourself up. He loved God. He would always go to church all the time. I'm like, get closer to your faith. Focus on your business. I go, you have so much to offer. I go, don't let this, define who you are. And even though he was, like I tell you, he was smoking marijuana throughout high school, he did football. He played basketball with the T-Birds. He was in the Golden Gloves one year. He loved life, my son, because that was one of my biggest fears. When they first told me that they found my son dead in a hotel in Addison, Texas, I thought to myself, please don't tell me he committed suicide. And once I started to see everything and everything started coming out, I'm all like, he had a plane ticket to California the following day. So it's like,
right. So it wasn't on purpose. He didn't.
It wasn't on purpose, and he didn't want it. My son loved life too. Yeah. I mean, he wanted to make everybody proud. He was very ambitious. He really didn't get, unlike Roman. We didn't. He had a few run-ins with the law that they would say, you know what, you need to go to these classes. But never to a big, he didn't do rehab, which sometimes, now I look back, I'm all like, why didn't I get him and tie him up to his bed and do my own rehab here at the house? Because now what I tell a lot of parents is that if your child is experimenting right now and you don't take care of this problem by the time they walk out your door, God forbid that something happens when they're older. When that door comes, because the cops came to my house at 4:00 in the afternoon on a Friday to let me know that they found my son dead in a hotel in Addison. Parents, I know parents are going to get phone calls at 3:00 in the morning, doors be knocking at all hours. That's the most scariest thing that a parent can ever feel.
Yeah. But in a lot of cases, like in your story, the child could be living with you and still doing it. So I don't want you to feel guilty.
Right.
You did, it sounds like you did everything as a parent that you could. And we always go back and think the would have, should have, the ifs, but in the end, it has nothing to do with that. It's
their choice.
Their choice in the end. Like you say, they ingested it, Now there's even famous people, right? You were just showing me Prince was one of them. So it's not just your common folk. It's also movie stars. Famous people.
That guy from that Pawn Stars, and Rick. He just lost his son Adam last year. Yeah, also to fentanyl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jalen Ferguson, a football player.
So, like you were saying, it doesn't discriminate just because you're from the barrio or because you're poor.
No.
It, all types of
all walks
social,
of life. All walks of life. Right. Right. And I was, my wife set up this little thing here for me, for Roman to dictate his life, how it went all about. Well, it was 6 years that we fought alongside of Roman with his addiction and his depression, right? We've made many, many trips to rehabs, detoxing at rehabs, and he would do well. He would come out of it, you know what I mean? I mean, he would go, y se alivianaba el huerco, and he would come out, and gosh, we're so happy, we would see him and stuff like that, and it was just a blessing to see him like that, because you would always see him asleep. You always see him, just doing odd things, But he didn't want to get help. He didn't want to get help at that time, But these are even pictures of him with the girls and stuff like that,
And if you don't mind, we can put them at the end of the
right on,
of the
right on,
show.
right
Las
on,
mandas
right on.
y hacemos un little memorial.
It looked like he loved life. Look at that.
Of course.
He
Yeah,
was having,
he was a very.
this is with your daughters,
Yeah,
¿verdad?
those are my little girls. And I mean, he was an outgoing little dude, man. I mean, him and I would be out there sometimes working on the yoncas and stuff. Hey, man, dude. And he was always riding with me. Here's a picture of him.
He rode, ¿verdad?
Yeah. He rode. And as a matter of fact, that's what actually caused him to stop there at the end. Yeah, Roman was on his way to his drug dealer. He was on his way to his drug dealer, and he was driving up on Lee Trevino. And andaba bien prendido el chavo, and the back tire, he put it on, and he didn't put it on very well. So when he was taking off on Lee Trevino, we got the police report on it and stuff like that. And the witnesses say, as he took off, he hit about 40 miles an hour, and then he had a death wobble. His tire just came apart, and he hit the curve and landed on the other side. He broke his leg in 5 parts. Yeah, I mean, super, super bad. I mean, he was in a very bad accident, and he broke his ribs, his clavicle. He had road rash, 90% of his body. And the only thing that saved him seriously was God and his helmet. He always wore a helmet. Yo siempre le decía al huerquillo, mijo, hijo Jesús, wear a helmet, mijo. Put a helmet on. I mean, he was driving 100 miles an hour all the time, and he had like a little crotch rocket, and when he would ride with me, he always wore a helmet, but that day he wore a helmet, and it was a Simpson helmet, like one of those crotch rocket helmets.
Yes.
It was full face helmet y todo. And man, you see that helmet. I wish I had it here with me today. I should have brought it. But you can see it's hitting the front, it's hitting the side, on both sides, and it's dented.
Yeah.
I mean, had that been his head, his brain would have been all over the floor,
And even then, with the helmet, people get concussions.
Well, exactly. Exactly. But then another thing too is that the fentanyl also dampened a lot of his pain, because he was already using fentanyl, so he didn't feel the pain of it all. You know what I'm saying? And even the cops were a little amazed with that. They're like, I can't say, man, this guy. I mean, he's not unconscious. He wasn't unconscious. He said that at the end, he passed out a little bit after that, But I mean, that fortunately and unfortunately, that caused him to stop using fentanyl, because he was incapacitated. I mean, he was down there. He had a broken leg. He couldn't move.
Yeah.
He couldn't go to the drug dealer, and pues ya estuvo, you know what I'm saying? So he had to break, So, and being with us, but we're not going to allow anybody to go out there and take drugs to him or anything to him, And so, mijo, we had him sober, man, for 8 months, eight clean months, man. And this is something that I wanted to show you all too as well. And he cleaned up, and man, he was back to himself, man. He was like a beautiful little dude, man. Hey, mijo, let's do this. Yeah, Joey, yeah, I'll go work with you, Joey. I'll do this, Así me decía el huerquillo, And it was wonderful, my little girls, they got to really see who their uncle was, or their brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And no, hombre, it was a beautiful deal, and we had him clean and everything like that for 8 beautiful months, man. And unfortunately, man, and I'll tell you something, man, my wife put this here too, for us, and well, the day he went to heaven, I hate this part. Porque pega el puro cora, vato.
Yeah.
But it was on a beautiful Sunday, brother. And he was up early. And I even have him on my cameras, ahí en el cantón. And, he had breakfast, and his mom drove him to work. They talked about his life, man, and how proud she was of him. I would always tell him, yo siempre lo decía, ¿sabes qué, mijo? I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you, man. I love seeing you like this. And, well, she told him how he could never be replaced, and with materialistic things, and everything came and went, right? Pero, I mean, la vida, canal, it's just you can't replace that, But, well, they talked about his leg, and how funny how that day his leg didn't hurt him at all. And this was on a Sunday, and she was taking him to work. And He didn't hurt him. And he didn't have any pain. He says, I don't have really much pain, Mom. So I'm doing good today. And she hugged him and she told him she loved him and left him. And then, but with a false sense that he had, that he had beaten this, right? But he was going to be okay. But, unfortunately, that evening at 9:45 in the evening, 9:47 to be correct, he was pronounced dead. And my wife was pulling up to his job site, and they were pulling him out of his job site, and he passed away in their bathroom, in their restroom there. And it wasn't much, man. It's all it took. He had been clean all his life, man, and but not all his life. I'm sorry for this past 8 months, pero with that little lethal dose, that's it. That was it. That's all it took. That's all it took. Pues that's why I'm here, man. That's what motivates me to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to, lift up to the biker community, everything, for their help and support. You guys, man, you guys are amazing, kinda.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a beautiful job.
For sharing your stories. Yeah. I know it's not easy. It's not easy to. As I'm here, I'm holding back my tears. But I can feel it. I feel your pain. So I really hope that the community can go out there and support Familia 28 and for the great cause. Let's bring awareness to this, and this is going to be the first annual. Let's make it big and show support to the familias that have all lost, because I know there's people coming in from out of town as well, right? So it's on November 9th, 10 a.m. The registration is going to be at La Habana?
La Habana.
La Havana. That's on Donovan, right? 7230 Donovan. And that's in Canotillo, right?
Yeah, Canotillo.
Well, look, a lot of us know the west side, right?
Right.
And then you're going to have a second stop at the American Legion.
Right.
That's the post 58. And then your final stop.
¿Dónde está ese? ¿Está por la Montana?
The American Legion is...
Hawkins por allá o no?
It's in Northeast.
Yeah,
you mean the yard?
Yeah, on Vulcan. Yeah.
No, the Vulcan?
Yeah, that's the American Legion on Northeast.
And Northeast.
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 And then your final stop from 4:30 to 7:30 at the yard. That's where everyone's going to meet, right?
Right.
I do see that you have a QR code here, so they can scan it and donate, or
you can do both.
Okay, so pre-register for it?
When they go register, each rider will also be getting a picture of a person who has passed away from fentanyl, and they will be writing for them in that honor.
That's actually something that we're hosting, right? We're doing a 4x6 postcards. It's like a postcard picture, and when you register, you will get a loved one, and they'll post them on your bikes. You can post them on your cars, trucks, because we're also inviting cars and truck clubs as well. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can fill the voids. You know what I'm saying? And we can fill as many people as we can, and to participate with us, and just to carry and
share it on social media.
Yes. So that
when you
maybe
register y todo,
their
post
loved ones
picture
watching,
todo,
and okay, well, I'm writing for this particular person.
Right.
Now, are you all going to have like a visual? At the end, I think that would probably be nice. Everybody hold up their picture and have maybe a visual.
We're trying also to get the news as well. To broadcast everything, and show the bikes, the yoncas, and everything with the cars and everything. Show the pictures of all the the love
Paul
angels.
Ficala from Channel 7 already confirmed that he would be there.
Yeah.
So we're also going to reach out to other news media so they can be out there as well. We're also going to be doing, I believe, the tip of the week with Channel 9 with the DEA. We will announce that as well.
Wow, good. Yeah. Well, I really hope that you guys get a good outcome and make it big, so we can continue to support you and have more events like this and for it to continue in memory of all those angels that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And also, if anybody, and we forgot to mention this at the Bikers Coalition this past week, that if anybody knows anyone who has passed away, not only from fentanyl, but any substance abuse, to reach out to us, because we will honor them as well. We'll print their picture, and we want to do, at the end, I do want to do do a name calling with their forever ages.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Please submit your pictures to us.
Where do they send that to you?
They send it on the Facebook page.
The Facebook page.
Is that the one here at the Fighting?
Yes.
Fighting
Yes.
to Save Lives 915.com?
Okay, we'll go ahead and put it up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll help us out a lot, you know what I'm saying? And even donations and door prizes, anything anyone can donate as well. You know what I'm saying? Anything, the more the merrier, brother. Okay. You know, it's just help the cause, you know. And like I said, it's just it's gonna be
Who can they contact in case they wanna
they can contact me, they can contact Jenny. Okay. And
I don't know if the phone number's on the flyer, but
go ahead and say it, and I'll edit the.
Yes,
Okay,
you
my
can
brother.
contact me at 915-549-3920.
mine is 915-241-8717.
For more information.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
again, this is happening November 9th.
Right.
And that's
November
going to
9th.
be a difficult weekend for me because Jake's birthday is November 7th.
Wow.
He would have been 30 this year.
Yeah.
That's my brother's birthday too. I have it tattooed.
Wow.
Right there. November 7th. So my brother passed away of cancer. And
Wow.
I carry him with me too. So
Right on.
that'll be a special day.
Yeah, we carry people dear in our hearts, man.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And you know what? This is a beautiful thing. You know, it's all of us, man, making a difference, man.
Yes.
All of us making a difference. All my people, all you people, everyone. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
you don't need a motorcycle to be in.
no, you do not, brother. You know what? You could just ride in your car. If you have a loved one that's passed away, you want to just be part of this. You can go, man. It doesn't matter, brother. You don't need a yonka. You could just.
Yo iba a decir skonka.
Una skunk. Don't bring that skunk weed. Ay. And, but it doesn't matter.
Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Well,
and-
any last words, brother? And I want to thank you for bringing this awareness.
Right on.
La neta, yo no sé nada de esto de
Yeah,
fentanyl.
and-
You
and
know, we
that's
hear
actually-
about it.
Yeah, you
but
guys
we really
educated
don't
us a
know
lot
nothing
today.
about it.
A lot.
So, is there a website we can, if people want to research more?
We have on Facebook, we have Fighting to Save Lives. And then I also, before that Facebook was made, I was doing it like on my own. So I have like
Okay.
a lot of stuff on there as well. But
So people can follow you also on Facebook?
Yes, and it's under Jennifer Guerra.
Guerra. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So you heard it. You heard it here. And I hope that
opened
everybody can go out there and
a
support.
page too for us, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Familia 28.
The family.
Okay.
Familia
Yeah.
28.
Okay.
Yeah. With fentanyl awareness and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any
And-
last words, brother?
My canalito, man, it's just it's been a blessing here with you guys, man. Really, it truly
No, al
has, man.
contrario. Al contrario.
You know, you guys are beautiful, man.
Yes.
You guys are beautiful.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
And I think that together, as we come as a community, I mean, I thank you for all of this. But as a community, we all have to step up and we all have to fight this before
Yeah.
we lose another child.
Yeah.
Amen.
The last thing that Joey wants and I want is for you all to join our club. We don't want
Exactly,
you
man.
to
This
join.
isn't a club
Right.
for anybody, brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Pero,
we all fear that, as
Yeah.
parents.
Oh, yeah,
Híjole, cuando
absolutely.
oyes una historia de esas, es like, man, no me quiero ni imaginar qué es lo
Yeah.
que es perder un hijo,
right
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
We expect our kids to, bury us, not
Yes.
the other way around,
Right.
And
So-
the number one biggest mistake that people make is they say, "Not my child."
Yeah, not my child, Right now, unfortunately, like I said, man, I've just now suffered another loss with a friend of mine, his son. And híjole, he's having a hard time, and I told him, you know what, Canales, I know exactly what you're going through, brother. And I told him, send me a picture of your son, brother. Send me a picture of your son. I'll sponsor him on my run, And it's hard, but you know what? It's a beautiful thing. We're turning it into a positive thing.
Yes.
And that's a better outlook of it all. You know what I'm saying? Our sadness has been converted to a happiness and
positive.
and bringing other people, that may have suffered as well, and they're not alone.
Yeah.
They're
Or
not
even
alone.
this awareness, if it can just help one person not to take it.
Exactly.
You guys ya están por ganancia,
Yeah.
You
And-
guys already
One life.
saved one
And,
life. Yes.
I know Jenny, my wife Lena, my daughters, they're going to a juvenile detention,
The
and they're
JPD.
speaking to the JPD. with all the
Wow,
young
look at
kids.
you, your daughters, huh?
Yeah, my little girls. Yeah, my little
They're
girls are
already being
lifting up.
proactive in that.
They're lifting up their little voices. How it affects teenagers as well. You know, they lost their brother, and how it affected them.
Mira, God
You
bless
know,
their heart.
and you know, they're motivated. You know what I'm saying?
Una de las cosas aquí en Psycho Uncensored, I might not have the viewers,
Yeah.
pero con una persona que podamos ayudar,
Sí,
Sí.
yo me
canalito.
doy por bien servido, you know,
No,
like,
entonces,
Yeah.
like
Dios está viendo, canalito, lo que
Yeah.
haces to my brother, and that's the biggest viewer that you could ever have, my brother.
Ándale,
Yeah.
con
Es
una,
una bendición,
con alguien,
homeboy.
yeah.
Thank you all so
Es una
much.
bendición.
for-
So you guys are doing
brings me to
beautiful,
the
man.
next point. If you're not subscribed, ¿qué esperas? It's free.
Yeah,
Just hit
no
that
les cuesta
subscribe
nada.
button.
Yeah.
Just hit that like button
Yeah.
and share
Yeah.
it. You know that when we edit the video, you know, we always post it. It'll be on our social media. Share it. Let's
Yeah.
get it out there. Let's get it known. And I want to thank people. You don't see them back over here, but Selma and her husband. But thank you, Selma, for contacting me.
A ver, unas palabritas.
That's why I tell you.
I know you've been a big help to them. So, but gracias for contacting me. It was an honor to do this for you all. It really
Right
was.
Salma
Some
has
words, some
been-
words. Speech, no?
I'll speak for Salma because you know what? Salma has been nothing but a blessing in this. And
I believe it.
I don't want to cry, but she's here to save lives. And
Yeah.
I know God put her in our path for a reason.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe that God puts us in all of our paths for a
Right.
reason. And honestly, that's why me and Joe do this. We do this.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
show,
this is
no
beautiful,
porque no,
brother.
nos gusta estar ahí hablando, you know, we do like it, you know, but
Es
we
más,
do
casi
it,
ni me cae bien. No, no te creas.
But when
it's the-
when I
it's the
decided to
cause.
join
Yeah.
Joe, it was because we both feel very strong about
Yeah.
helping
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah.
Not only to get recognized, you know, for talent and all that, pero cosas así, you know, to get it out there. And this is the reason why Psycho Uncensored is here, you know. And I always saw Joe when you started this years
Yeah,
ago. You know,
I won't forget that conversation at Shooters, you know. That's
yeah,
when we started,
had a
you know,
deep
hablando
conversation.
de eso.
Yeah. And I think Alex, you know, now he's back. Yay! He was one of the first ones. He was here with you, and no.
Ya, güey.
La gente me quiere.
Ya se voló.
Hey, and gracias to Psycho Uncensored
Psycho
for
Uncensored.
this beautiful podcast. Here we come to you live, aquí del Chuco, Texas. There you go.
Sí, mo. Thank you very much. También aquí antes de acabar, we got a little stuff here for you.
All right on.
Nice.
That's todo, mi brother.
Yeah. You can pass them around.
Joey has a 2X, right?
Okay, you don't have to say that, you know, out loud. A ver.
Hey, I've got that 2X Slim. Yo uso 2X Slim.
Oh, what happened to art?
A mi carnal no le dieron.
Oh, yes, he got stage fright.
You got a large.
Yeah.
¿Esa qué size es?
Thank you.
Medium? Oh, yeah, I kind of. Esa es la tuya. I don't know how I got
Like
that
mine?
got it there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one's mine.
Quítasela,
you can keep it for you. I can get another one. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Porque te la pongas on this writing represent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, brother. I will represent you,
Thank you,
canalito,
most
man. You know what?
definitely.
No, and
I will
count
pass the word
us to
around.
be there on this event and constantly share it on my page and as you all know that my page has become more of a content creator
Yeah.
so that I can help in any way possible. I always get people inboxing me to help out in any way, and I'm all for it. If I have the time, if not, I'll overbook myself.
Thank you.
Right on.
Thank you.
Pero, ¿ya está recording otra vez? ¿Está recording otra vez? Pues di algo, güey.
Pues ya de cerró la mano.
Órale.
Anyways, pues muchas gracias por, you know, taking the time to be in here.
Yes, sir.
Spreading the awareness. I really do believe this is a, you know, está muy chingón este rollo, you know.
Yeah,
like,
my brother.
Like, como te dije ahorita, somebody that needs to hear this, que lo oiga.
Right.
Con eso me doy yo por bien servido,
Exactly,
you know.
exactly, brother.
So we'll see you at your run, man.
Exactly, my brother. Thank you, my brother. I
thank you.
appreciate
November
that,
9th,
man. I
save the
appreciate
date.
everything, Susie. You guys
Yes,
did
Susie.
beautiful, man. You guys are doing
No,
great.
igualmente.
You know, and
Thank you for what you're doing for this, in the community.
And it's gonna take off. Ojalá Dios quiera que sí, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know what, man, you're gonna help out a lot of people, man, in this situation. A lot of people.
Pues cuenten con nosotros, whatever,
whatever
we can
you
do to
guys
help
need.
you. From here to all your future events,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate
All right.
Joey, close us out with a shout
All right. Thank you for coming here to Psycho Uncensored with Joe Martinez and Susie Q. We thank you for this moment here and come on back again, gente. Aquí los tenemos listos. Thank you.
Come on back.
Yeah, we're gonna use you as a permanent voice. Oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome.
We should hire you.